my interior design style is definitely, of course, filtered through the desires of the client always. I mean, that is how you know, create a home that's personal and not just a reflection of my taste. But I would say that I'm very, very much driven by lifestyle. And I know that sounds kind of, obviously it's extremely broad, but um, I am always designing towards how people want to live and trying to create a home that sort of fosters and augments that lifestyle, whether they have it or it's somewhere they want to or aspire to be. So, and that reflects itself in the interior design, the materiality, the millwork, obviously down to the furnishings, the things that you look and touch and feel. But it's very much, you know, lifestyle driven, you know, whether it's California, New York, you know, Mexico, Austin, wherever it is, you know, I think the key thing is understanding kind of all the aspects of a client's life, you know, from personal, professional, intimate, you know, all of that, you know, where they are now, where they see themselves going, and trying to create an environment that sort of feeds all of those areas of their lives. You know, luckily, the way that things have evolved with social media, there are so many, you know, Instagram alone, you can learn so much about design and follow so many incredible people. I mean, it's almost overwhelming, of course, but you know, and Pinterest before that, and of course, many blogs and you know, experts in the field who share their knowledge. I mean, I would dip hard into that, but I would try to, as I said, that can be really overwhelming. Even for us, it can be overwhelming. It's like, stop the noise. You know, a lot of times when I'm designing, and at least coming up with sort of high level concepts, I try not to, I don't even look at Pinterest anymore, to be honest. I can't, you know, but Instagram is sometimes also just too much inundation. So, um, I'd say you learn a lot, but then coming up with sort of that logic or figuring out what your narrative story is going to be, and then trying to refer back to that, have that help be your strength of conviction in a sense, because there's a million beautiful ways to go for everything. But if you want to try to move a project forward and not, you know, you have to commit to at least some basic tenets and move from there. One of the most important design lessons I've learned over the years, and this is even for somebody who's built a lot of homes, both before I was an interior design professional and even, you know, and throughout the process, is don't rely on floor plans and furniture plans entirely. If you have the benefit, or sorry, if you have the opportunity to be measuring things in the actual space, I absolutely, doesn't matter who drew it, could be the finest designer or architect in the world who drew that couch for you. I highly recommend going and using some blue tape or cutting a cardboard template and seeing how things work in the space, because it's not until you stand somewhere and you really realize the volume of a piece, and how that affects like the flow around it and all of those things, in a more realistic, in real life way, that I think, you know, it's invaluable. So if you have the opportunity, unless you're designing from afar, or, you know, I think that that's an imperative. And it also goes kind of hand in hand with using those tools like SketchUp that we talked about, but even that does not replace real life. So if you have the opportunity, timing allows, location allows, measure on site. Cabinets, furniture, whatever we're talking, you know, pretty much anything that takes up space.